Let's go out to the Plains. Check out what's going on with the Tigers out there in Auburn, Alabama. Offensively, sounds like they're going to be a little bit more bread and butter as to what Hugh Freeze wants to do. A little less like drop back game, a little bit more RPO game. To put it simply, they're going to shrink that menu for a one Jackson Arnold. And to me, like, if I'm an Auburn fan, that's what I've been asking for. We know we got dudes. You're going to hear me just say this over and over again. We know we got dudes. We don't need to out-scheme people at this rate with Auburn. We've worked to have a roster. We've recruited to have a roster of this caliber to where we don't have to, have it dialed up with a bunch of smoke and mirror, sleight of hand, complex scheme. You can have that, and you probably need that to go beat the Georgias and Alabamas of the world, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So to hear at this point during the calendar year that Auburn is shrinking the menu, sticking to the basics, sticking to what works, and their quarterbacks are comfortable with that, awesome. Check that box in terms of what I want to hear out of fall camp right now. Jackson Arnold looks good. He's going to be your starting quarterback. It's not a battle of sorts, which I think is encouraging if you're an Auburn fan. That hasn't become something that has become a storyline with all the good quarterbacks in that room. One thing that sticks out about him during fall camp right now, I'm told they're really impressed and pleased with the fact that he can make different kinds of throws. He can put different touch on the football. He has different pitches, if you will. And in the RPO offense, that is so crucial because those windows are moving and changing and evolving, and the picture you get snap to snap is going to be different. You might have to throw it over a linebacker one snap, might have to fit it in front of a safety the next snap. To be able to have that changeup and that many different kinds of ways to get the football to their playmakers, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. It's a big reason why Peyton Thorne was your guy a year ago. Now, the issue with Peyton Thorne was the decision-making, not the ability to throw the football. So does Jackson Arnold surpass a Peyton Thorne when it comes to decision-making? You would hope shrinking the menu would equip him to do that. Now, I also love the intel just around the quarterback room in general. Like Deuce Knight, when I asked about him to the person I was talking to close to Auburn football, I was told that a little bit inconsistent because the dude's a true freshman, been on campus for 15 practices and whatever they're at right now in fall camp. But if you threw him into a football game tomorrow, you can make some things happen for you. Like I was told he has the best arm talent in that room, which as a guy who was supposed to be just graduating high school a few weeks ago, that means something. That means something. So they're encouraged by that. They said Ashton Daniels, in a room full of really good runners, the transfer quarterback from Stanford, is the best runner. So I think if you had to go to a situation where Ashton Daniels was your guy, you feel good about sticking to those design quarterback run kind of game situations. Here's my thing with the quarterback room. I love that you have this much depth for a number of reasons. One, Jackson Arnold, as good as he was as a prospect coming out of high school, there's still some risk and still some unknowns. I don't think that's saying anything super groundbreaking. You're still hoping that Jackson Arnold is closer to what he was as a five-star prospect out of high school than what he was last year at Oklahoma. That's the bet. But if that bet goes south, you can go to a Deuce Knight, can go to an Ashton Daniels, and feel like you're not just punting on this season, which I think is massive for Auburn. Second thing I love about it, Jackson Arnold, a season ago at Oklahoma, he lost that job to Michael Hawkins Jr., but that was a Jackson Arnold thing. It wasn't like Michael Hawkins Jr. was just pushing him throughout fall camp and, okay, Michael Hawkins Jr., he might make a move on this job here. It was like, no, Jackson Arnold played poorly. They had to make a change, get someone more mobile in there. That was how the whole thing went. I think right now for Jackson Arnold, rent is due every day for him. And he's got the apartment now. Don't get it twisted. Like, it is his spot. But if you're a little bit late on that rent, if you don't have a good couple of weeks, there's someone right behind you that is capable from a talent perspective to push you and then take that job. So what that says to me is competition breeds the best out of everybody. Jackson Arnold being pushed by that room, I think, will give you the best version of a Jackson Arnold. And if it doesn't, then he wasn't the guy for you to begin with. But going down the rabbit hole a little bit there, Jackson Arnold, good returns, quarterback, good returns in general with that room. They really like the offensive line. You're still a little bit wondering what you get at the running back position for Auburn because Jarquez Hunter's not running out that tunnel for you this upcoming season for Auburn. But they feel like, especially when that passing game does get rolling, because I'm not giving you intel on the receiver room. We know what they are. They're freak shows. They're really good. We can bypass that. But when that receiver room does catch their stride this season and you start getting some light boxes, they think that offensive line is going to have a field day. Like, they feel awesome about what they can be up front, which in the SEC, it's pretty common sense. You got to run the football if you want to win at the highest level. So Auburn, they feel good about their chances to do that. Defensively, I was told that like this DB unit, The word that I was given to describe that group is fantastic. You're throwing around fantastic during fall camp. I think you can at least feel confident they're going to be pretty good. Jay Crawford, from what I've been told, is having the best fall camp, not just of any DB or any player on defense for Auburn. He's having the best fall camp of any player at Auburn right now. I've been told there has been 0 witnesses that have seen Jay Crawford allow a completion during one-on-ones. One-on-ones now is designed for the offense to have success. I mean, Cato on the ones and twos, a former DB, he'll tell you, man. Like, you got a full field to work with if you're the offensive side. Myself, as an offensive player, I loved it. I know we're about to eat in one-on-ones because I don't have to worry about a linebacker underneath or a safety over the top. I got to beat my guy, and we're in good shape. Jay Crawford, 0 completions allowed at this point. Against that receiver room? Okay, I'll believe it. The linebackers, not as experienced, but like Hugh Freeze describes them as being a little bit freakish. Okay, a good thing in the SEC. I was told they have 3 dudes that run under sub or that are sub 4.5 40 guys. If Hugh Freeze is talking about the linebackers in this way, to where they're flashing, they're twitchy, they're athletic, and the Auburn offense is built as a whole to try to take advantage of linebackers being flat-footed or out of position, and Hugh Freeze is highlighting the linebackers, that tells me linebackers, fair to assume, making some plays during practice when maybe they're not supposed to be making those plays given their athletic prowess is doing a lot for them. So all this to say, linebackers, you feel good about the overall personnel there. And then on the defensive side, on the defensive line side, they think they got some pretty good depth in the interior. They'll see where they're at when it comes to top end talent, but they feel good about depth. The overall overarching theme I get talking to people close to Auburn is just elite competition during practice. You have different guys winning reps, it feels like, all the time if you're standing on the grass out there in Auburn, Alabama, which I think is maybe a little bit more interesting than what meets the eye. If Keldrick Falk's out there just winning every single rep, it's one, Keldrick Falk's really good. We already know that together because we watch college football. But if you're having other offensive linemen get the better of him every now, Xavier Chaplin's winning a rep against him, that says, okay, there's true good on good going on to the point where your roster is elevated to the point where you have what you need in the SEC. You have what you need to compete at the highest level. Now you got to execute, but make no mistake, this year is high stakes for Auburn because of the fact that you have earned the right to have high stakes, to have pressure because of how well you've recruited, and then also the last 2 years have been a little bit lackluster, to say the least. So more on Auburn later in the show, but that's the intel on the Plains as it stands right now.